Hello and welcome to live coverage of this international friendly between the US and the Republic of Ireland from Commerce City, north of Denver. Des Kern alongside Maeve de Burca after a slow start but a positive finish to the Nations League campaign. It's these two high-profile friendly fixtures to end the season for the Republic of Ireland. Tonight, Denver, Colorado, before they will pack up and head east to Cincinnati in Ohio as Carla Ward is reunited with Emma Hayes. Neither side will be at full strength given the time of year, but two intriguing games ahead nonetheless as Ireland look down the line towards the Nations League two-leg playoff against Belgium and then next year's World Cup qualifiers. And a different looking US, Emma Hayes bringing in a lot of young talent as they look to the future as well, and that World Cup in Brazil in 2027. So two big fixtures here for both sides, I guess, Maeve.
Yeah, it really is, and great opportunities for a lot of the fringe players in a way that mightn't get a chance to start to have an opportunity to impress tonight, particularly like you said from the US. I think more than half of their squad have less than 5 caps, so huge opportunity for a lot of the players tonight.
Yeah, the US rebuilding after the disappointment of the last World Cup, where the first time in their history they failed to make at least the semi-finals. Olympic gold last year was a positive and heralded a very positive start for Emma Hayes, who came in and won that Olympic gold in just her 10th game at the helm. As for Carla Ward, those two go back a long way to the WSL and to that Olympic gold when Carla Ward was on Emma Hayes' coaching staff. The New Ireland boss taking charge for just a 7th game here. And the first friendly fixture, so the pressure off to a certain extent. Ahead of kickoff in Denver, we'll have the anthems.
Please remain standing. Joining us to perform the Star Spangled Banner, please welcome Denver-born singer and songwriter Amanda Hawkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang aloud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, here we
One
go.
more
Dick's
time,
Sporting Goods
Amanda
Park,
Hawkins.
Commerce City in Denver, 1,600 meters above sea level. The current temperature 30 degrees. So all of that for the Republic of Ireland to deal with, as well as this talented, if maybe in places inexperienced, US side. The referee is Vimares Diaz of the Dominican Republic, taking charge of this one for Ireland down the line. It's all about October, the Nations League playoff, two-legged affair against Belgium, and then into those World Cup qualifiers next year. 16th meeting of the nations. The US a perfect 15 from 15 to date. Ireland with just 1 goal scored across those 15 games. All points to illustrate the size of the challenge ahead. Carla Ward positive despite the absence of some key operators. And positive that they can make this a difficult night for the top-ranked side in the world. Captains Naomi Girma and Courtney Brosnan. First meeting of these two in a couple of years, a double-header back in 2023. The games played in Austin, Texas and St. Louis, Missouri, finishing 2-0 and 1-0 respectively. Goal scorers in that first game, Emily Fox and Lindsay Horan, and neither in the current US squad. And Alana Cook, who scored the winner in the second one, not involved either. Emma Hayes, Naomi Girma part, naming an all home-based squad for these two games, for the likes of Crystal Dunn and Emily Fox and Lindsay Horan, or heaps as she is now. Katerina Macario not involved. Still plenty of talent to call on. Such a popular game, a hugely popular game in the US. And for Ireland, it's always an interesting challenge, this one. And Denise O'Sullivan, Ciara Carusa operating in the NWSL, and I think it's 11 of the squad that has travelled to the US have gone through the college system in the United States. The brief team lines for you. For the US, a debut in goal for the Seattle Reign goalkeeper Claudia Dicka. Girma captains the backline that also sees Lily Reel of Gotham make her senior bow. 19-year-old Claire Hutton of the current NWSL leaders Kansas City Current wins her 4th cap in midfield, alongside the vastly experienced Rose Lavelle and Sam Coffey, who was a regular in the Olympic Games gold medal win. And up top, Michelle Cooper, Alyssa Thompson, either side of the former underage star Ali Sentnor, the 21-year-old, already with 4 goals and 9 senior caps. And for Ireland, already without Katie McCabe, dealt that blow yesterday, the losses of Denise O'Sullivan and Megan Campbell to knee and ankle injuries respectively. So Brosnan captains and our 50th cap. There's the first start in 3 years for Chloe Mustaki at left back. Rusha Littlejohn moves to within 10 of the 100 cap mark. So we're off and running. Lovely conditions. Let's see how Ireland settle here. Early touch for Avery Patterson down this right-hand side. And now Girma, who was there alongside Julie Ertz, is a very young centre-back back at the last World Cup. 25 now. She's had some injury issues to deal with, having joined Chelsea at the start of the year. And slipped forward, picked off by Rusha Littlejohn, who looks to get Ireland facing and playing forward here. Amber Barrett dealt with a little too physically for the referee's liking by the ever-versatile Emily Sonnet.
I think you'll see this a lot from Ireland. Once they get possession, they won't be in any hurry. They're just going to slow it down as much as they can.
Anna Patton alongside Caitlin Hayes again. And Jessie Stapleton operating on the right-hand side of this Irish defence as Patton looks out to Mustaki. Littlejohn, US looking to apply the pressure on the Ireland playmaker quickly. Carusa off in chase here. Girma tidies up. Goalkeeping spot that you would say is up for grabs now for the US, with Alyssa Nair having retired at the end of last year. Claudia Dickey of the Seattle Reign giving her first cap this evening. Gurma looking for options. Across she comes to Sonnet, winning her 109th cap tonight. One of the 2019 World Cup winners. Patterson allowed to advance. Here is Sentnor, clips it out towards that far side. Offside flag is up though. Sentnor wearing 9 will certainly be one to watch. There is Rose Lavelle, one of the 2019 heroes, scored a goal, the clinching goal in that World Cup final. It was tight, but maybe just Lavelle.
Yeah, we can see even early on just that danger that they do possess, and like I said, Sentnor is definitely one to watch. I think she's from the same hometown as the Miwa sisters, actually in Massachusetts, so it's unusual that a small town would produce 3 senior internationals, but definitely one to watch and a huge opportunity for her, particularly strikers out of the mix, the likes of Sophia Wilson and Mallory Swanson, both pregnant at the moment, so big opportunity for her.
No Trinity Rodman either, so a chance for those in that forward line to impress. Avery Patterson of Houston Dash, just her 5th cap. A lot of these players coming in at a very young age, coming out of college through the draft system. Looking well prepared to meet the highest demands, and Emma Hayes will set high demands. Such success over a dozen years or so at Chelsea. Appointed November 2023, took over in May of 2024 and only had 4 friendlies before heading to those Olympic Games in Paris. Following in the footsteps of the likes of double World Cup winning manager Jill Ellis. There she is. And she had Carla Ward as her opposition scout for the 2024 successful Olympic Games. And has had lots of positives to say about Ward in the build-up to this game. Emma Hayes. It's a little short from Littlejohn. Patton strong in the tackle and swept away by Stapleton. Carusa, who played that more withdrawn role against Slovenia and played it very impressively. Emily Murphy backtracking. And the pacey Alyssa Thompson, the elder of the 2 Thompson sisters, despite the fact she's just 20. Very pacey operator down that left-hand side. We can rub sub 12 seconds for the 100 metres. That tells you all you need to know about Alyssa Thompson.
Yeah, I think Murphy will have her work cut out defensively. Maybe she'll have to give a dig out to Stapleton, and likewise Quinn on the other side to Mustaki. I think we'll see a lot of defensive work from our wingers tonight.
Now Lavelle looks and towards Michelle Cooper. Ireland get bodies around her. Patton will head towards Emily Murphy. Murphy, who played for North Carolina Tar Heels and Wake Forest in terms of her college career in the US. And the ball heading in her direction. Big physical challenge tonight against Lily Reel. Playing left back, has played at centre back as well though, but on her US debut she'll be eager to impress. Tidied up by Patton, back to New Jersey's Courtney Brosnan.
Interesting to see that US drop off like that, kind of a mid-block really. They're not putting pressure on the Irish back 4, early doors anyway.
Stapleton, Murphy again as Reel right at her back. Here is Hutton. The teenager smuggles it inside to Sam Coffey. Coffey once more. Gurma. Look at the recent retirements for the US. Alyssa Nair, we've mentioned, Julie Ertz, Alex Morgan, Becky Sauerbraun. Between them pushing on 700 caps to lose. Ball in towards Lavelle, that's up in the air and away by Hayes. Up here by Carusa. He's charged with holding on and trying to get Ireland up the pitch here. Lucy Quinn for the run of Barrett. And tidied up by Sonnet.
Yeah, you can see once Ireland lose it, Barrett's just backtracking all the way back into the centre circle.
Booming ball from Coffey. And Thompson looking to take it in her stride, and she's in here beyond the two Irish defenders. Big save from Brosnan. Alyssa Thompson. Well, it was a little more Route 1 that time. Fabulous ball from Coffey, and Thompson showed her abilities here.
Yeah, she really did. Just got in behind the Irish back four, just behind Stapleton, and then Patton just missed the tackle, and great save from Courtney Brosnan. You know, she'll be full of confidence after that one. Really, Thompson, I suppose, would be disappointed not to finish it, but Courtney made herself really big, and a really bright start from her.
It's a terrific save from the captain for the night, Courtney Brosnan. Patterson slips inside to Cooper, who tucks in once more to leave this space on the right-hand side. And Gurma advancing. Pulls back towards the angle of that penalty area. Lovely turn, and the shot on the turn is turned around the post. Courtney Brosnan flying into action again to deny Claire Hutton. Hutton, who arrived at the current leaders, Kansas City Current, straight from high school. And such was her ability, bypassed the college opportunity. Superb debut season last year, getting all the way to the semi-finals. In-swinging corner, headed away by Hayes. Cooper. Touched a little loose, and Mustaki can get it away, but two big early moments for Courtney Brosnan.
Yeah, I'd love to see a replay. The second one, I think, was better than the first. Almost just really good play, like I said, from both sides, from Brosnan and Hutton and Thompson. They'll be causing havoc, I'm sure, for the rest of the evening, but we just need to make sure we can tighten up in the areas. The first one in particular, just a long ball, although albeit a good ball from Coffey, it was just one that, you know, we need to try to be able to deal with a little bit better than that, especially when we're not putting pressure on those balls forward.
So Ireland's record caps holder Emma Byrne down there alongside Carla Ward, I'm sure appreciating. As a former goalkeeper herself, Brosnan's two interventions there to keep it at 0-0. Yeah,
and Brosnan herself, I think, talked about how lucky she feels to be able to be working with Emma Byrne, who she feels is obviously, and I'd concur that she's the best keeper that has worn the jersey. So she's really developed Courtney over the last number of years. She's, you know, possibly had a slightly shaky start maybe at times, like a lot of keepers, but she really developed and made that jersey her own, and it's great to see her rewarded with the captaincy tonight as well, obviously, in Katie McCabe and Denise O'Sullivan's absence.
Great take from Thompson, and again looking to drive at this Ireland defence, to use that pace of hers. Shadowed to the end line by Stapleton. Hayes with an important clearing header, as the US have come out strong here. Setnor back by Reel, by Hutton to Coffey, picks her pass once more. It's already shown the quality she has in terms of distribution, Sam Coffey. Reel getting that chance at left back. Crystal Dunn, incredibly, still turning out for the national team, not in the squad at the moment, being based abroad in France. Left back spot usually hers. This was really positive from Thompson again.
Yeah, it's difficult. There's two on her there, and we're in the right positions defensively, but just that individual talent, skill, that it's hard to keep her quiet.
20 years of age, and already almost 3 years since she made her debut at senior level. Alyssa Thompson, another who went straight to the NWSL from high school. Positioning by Gurma. Emily Murphy, this will come to Amber Barrett. Here's Lucy Quinn. First attacking threat potentially here. Murphy might have been offside anyway, as the ball goes dead.
Still positive signs that we're at least in those areas of the pitch, because I'm sure for a lot of the game we will be defending, but definitely it's a little bit of signs of positivity at least.
To say as well, there's no underestimating the fact that there is no Katie McCabe and no Denise O'Sullivan. McCabe, who didn't travel after such a punishing but rewarding domestic season with Arsenal. Denise O'Sullivan ruled out through injury in the last couple of days. linchpins, and they have been for over a decade for the Republic of Ireland, but they have to do without them tonight. Here goes Thompson. Big night ahead for Jesse Stapleton. Thompson driving, shifting, and looking towards that back post. A cross shot that Michelle Cooper was interested in at the back post.
We see it again, the ball just sprayed out to that left wing again. Stapleton is in a good position defensively, but just Thompson has that individual brilliance and whips it in. Yeah, like I said, a half cross, half shot. Not sure, I think it looked more like a shot there on that replay, and then Cooper just tried to get on the end of it and was unable to do so, but just another danger warning sign.
Such an embarrassment of riches, the US, given it's such a popular sport. A tough squad to get into, and Emma Hayes, she's already handed over 20 players, first-time call-ups, 18 debuts, making it now 20 tonight with Dickey and Reel starting. With the expectation always to win the World Cup, four-time winners, and to win the Olympic Games. Last World Cup, such a disappointment, knocked out in the round of 16 after a scoreless draw with Sweden in Melbourne, beaten 5-4 on penalties.
Yeah, it's the expectation that's been there, and I suppose has been there for years and decades really. They're the real trailblazers, I think, in the women's game. Obviously other teams, countries in Europe in particular, are catching up with them, but at the same time they do set the standards and they have that expectations from within themselves and others as well, and been holding that number one spot for a lot of history really.
Spain, the World Cup winners back in 23, about to start their European Championships. England, the defending champions there. Fantastic month or so action ahead of us. It all starts next week. Patterson found that space well. Cooper with a dangerous low ball in. Safe hands again from Courtney Brosnan.
We can see just the US, they've so many strings to their bow cutting inside. Patterson just from that right back spot, getting away from Mustaki and slipping a nice ball through to Cooper, who did whip it across, and again really safe hands, like you said, from Courtney. She's looks full of confidence and we'll need her tonight.
Cooper a threat down that right hand side. 4 goals in 8 appearances domestically this season, where they are 13 rounds in, and her Kansas City Current very impressive so far. Lavelle on the chase here, and they close down Brosnan, who's looking for someone to play this ball to. In the end, landed it on the head of Cooper. Her header finds Lavelle offside. Sonnet and Lavelle, two big experienced operators in amongst the youngsters here. And St. Nora made her debut at Wembley last November. Had a good She Believes Cup at the start of this year, where she opened her account, and already 4 in 9 at senior international level, having played in the last 2 under-20 World Cups, captaining the side last year. Always looking for the next Alex Morgan, I guess.
Yeah, and I think Emma Hayes is definitely leaving no stone unturned with regard to trying to find them. You know, she really is trying out all avenues and giving them a chance as well. And you know, it's fine to call them up, but she is playing these players, giving them debuts as well on the biggest stage. And like I said, it's just a good opportunity for them to show what they can do.
Coffey again looking out to that left-hand side. Here comes the powerful reel from left back. And the collision there with Emily Murphy will yield a US free kick.
Yeah, I don't think there was any intent there. Murphy seemed to have lost her footing, and it's just unfortunate.
US, as we've seen, power and pace down that left-hand side, and Reel and Thompson. St. Nora having a look at this free kick now. Some of the heavy hitters set up around the back post, including Reel herself. Emily Sonnet, cap number 109, just a couple of goals. She might feel she's due one. She's being picked up by Jessie Stapleton. And the pair are going to get a talking to before the action resumes. So it remains scoreless as the US hunt the breakthrough goal here. Sednor would header Caitlin Hayes to get it out of the danger area. First on the loose ball is Cooper. Cross actually came off Germa, and Brosnan trying to prevent the corner but unable to do so. And the pressure will remain on this Republic of Ireland defence.
Yeah, just unable to deal with it. I think it was Mustaki with the last touch.
Ireland caught sleepy on the corner. The US with a 2-on-1. Lavelle's ball in the header, and nothing that Brosnan can do this time. The US find the breakthrough, and it's Avery Patterson on her 5th cap, her first senior international goal. Ireland just switching off at the corner. Lavelle picked out the cross, and a fantastic header at the back post from Patterson.
Yeah, we see it here, just the ball in. Lavelle with her probably weaker right foot, and Patterson with a great finish into the back of the net. Just Lucy Quinn just got away from her, and Courtney Brosnan, the goal, just was unable to keep it out.
You can see the reaction there on the replay of Megan Connolly that Ireland were too slow in closing down on the corner. Fantastically, though, made that hers, Avery Patterson. Prominent in these early minutes. 3 goals already in 9 appearances for the Houston Dash this season, including one inside the first minute last weekend at North Carolina Courage. And obviously a player who has the taste for goals at the moment. Big moment for her. Having only made her debut back in April, now her first senior international goal.
Yeah, really disappointing to concede from a set piece. Obviously they had opportunities in open play, but we dealt with them so far, and then just, like you said, just to switch off and fall asleep. Really disappointing to allow the US to be able to get the ball in like that.
Real gets a touch. Carusa tried to smuggle it forward to Barrett, cut out by Germa. Now Sonnet, league winner across a variety of clubs. It's not the greatest of challenges on Cooper by Mustaki.
Yeah, she seemed to come in late there, just through the back of Cooper. Yeah, we can see it again here. Just, yeah, didn't. I suppose kind of many complaints about that, but maybe frustration, you know, after conceding the corner initially that led to the goal. But it's just important now, I think, the next 5 minutes that Ireland can regroup and, you know, not lose sight of the game plan either. You can see them up there, they were pressing high up the pitch at that point, but looked like a sore one.
Ireland, I think, in the circumstances, will be grateful of the breather here. It's been an impressive US performance so far. Emma Hayes, they've got Canada to come after the double-header against Ireland. Canada always strong. It's a great rivalry between those two. It's the perfect position really for Emma Hayes, isn't it? The chance with all the European-based players, apart from Naomi Germa, left out of the squad after their domestic seasons, given a chance to have a breather over the summer, to have a look at the fringe players and the young up-and-coming players, and then build that squad to try and go and attack the next World Cup in 2 years' time.
Definitely, and she has spoken about that since coming in, just widening that player pool, and maybe that wouldn't have been there in the past. You'd see a lot of players with really, really high number of caps for the US, but now she's trying to spread that, you know, across, and like I said, really broaden that player pool, which will give them really good strength and depth in the years to come as well. And yeah, it's interesting to see, and just can see the replay of the goal here again, and yeah, it's a disappointing one to concede. It's areas that we'd usually be good at, set pieces, and just, yeah, like I said, just Patterson with a great leap, and yeah, unfortunate to concede, but hopefully, like I said, hopefully now we can build back into the game and keep it tight for the next while.
And after some treatment, Michelle Cooper looks like she's recovered and will be good to go again. And you're fighting for your position. You certainly don't want to go off injured if you can avoid it. But every check being taken. And the US resume the game, playing with 10 for now. Girma. And look at these centre halves the US have had down the years. You mentioned all those caps. Sarah Brown and Julie Ertz were mainstays in World Cup wins. But Girma has just come through like a Rolls Royce, really, from a very young age. And a lot of football ahead of her. You see her with the captain's armband tonight.
Yeah, she's a bright future ahead, and you know, that big kind of £1 million move to Chelsea was a blockbuster one, and maybe she didn't hit the ground running, but you know, injuries and that can have a lot to factor in there, moving confidence too. And I think next season she'll be expected from herself as well, a big season at Chelsea, and yeah, she's kind of fitted into that role seamlessly, and yeah, nearing on 50 caps at this stage, and still actually relatively young, and but leading by example.
And Sean looking for somewhere to go here. Being hunted down, finds Mustaki on her inside. He's got to be careful here. Hayes does well to give her an angle. And someone to play to. Nice touch inside from Barrett. Here's Carusa. Pressure is incessant that time from Coffey. Carusa, who'll be well versed in all of these US players. Playing with her hometown club San Diego Wave herself under the former Arsenal boss, Jonas Eidevall. Roll mostly off the bench for Caruso. The likes of the Canadian international Adriana Leon, Delphine Cascarino, Kenza Daly. Lots of big names operating in the NWSL these days. Here is Girma. And Sonnet. Plays a lot at club level with Gotham. Defensive midfielder, Emily Sonnet, but one of those players who could pretty much play anywhere. Sentnor shows for it. Cooper recovered, smuggles it through to Lavelle. Some neat touches. Gets it to Hutton and on to Reel, who's driving again with power. Whips in a dangerous ball, and Stapleton did really well to get a touch there. There were US jerseys arriving in behind her.
Yeah, good position defensively from Stapleton that time, and hopefully we can deal with this corner a bit better than the last one.
Sentnor again to take. Short option available, bypasses that. Ireland managed to head clear through Megan Connolly. Forward by Lucy Quinn, and Amber Barrett eating up the ground here on Coffey. She's on her own for now. Cooper hunting her down. Lavelle covering on the inside. Excellent work there from Amber Barrett. Pass inside from Quinn, a little loose, but picked up by Connolly. Now Littlejohn. Maybe time for a little key ball here from the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure they'll be glad just to relieve the pressure off the defence. Try to keep it for a while. The US line is quite deep.
Forward by Stapleton. Asking too much of Carusa there.
I can see Quinn there just telling Stapleton maybe to take a few extra seconds on the ball just to calm it down. It's rare that we'd have that kind of possession, and maybe just not the right decision on that occasion from Stapleton.
Looked out to the goal scorer, Avery Patterson, the goal coming 18 minutes in. first half bossed by the home side. Healthy crowd as well in Denver this evening. We'll be on to Cincinnati for the next game that you can watch with us. Kicks off at 8 p.m. Irish time on Sunday. Always such a big fixture. I mean, Maeve, you've been involved in several of them.
Yeah,
in the days of some of the real US superstars as well.
Definitely, for sure, yeah. Always a big occasion when you play the US. We have, I remember playing in San Jose, packed out stadiums, you know, 20,000 people, and yeah, they always, the US fans, in fairness to them, always bring the energy and the colour, and yeah, big occasions. There really are superstars in America at the women's game.
The college system really sets them up for stepping into the professional game. Here's Cooper, drops the shoulder away from Mustaki, another ball for Ireland to deal with, which they managed to do via Patton. That pace again in the wide area is such a threat.
Yeah, definitely. Cooper this time, Thompson on the left at other times, and yeah, just taking on our fullbacks, getting balls in, but just dealt with by Patton that time.
Coffey, strong figure in that central midfield area. Here's Gurma. Coffey, booming cross this time. Stapleton well positioned, and on the follow-up it's whipped wide by Claire Hutton. Had the confidence to take it on the volley from a fair distance. Hutton, one of the New York contingent. Match day squad. Time for a little break, I think, to take some fluids on board. Emma Hayes has drawn her squad of 25 from 10 of the 14 NWSL teams, plus Gurma from Chelsea. Emma Hayes. Time to pick over the bones of the first half of that first half and try and find a way to just stem the flow of this US attack.
Yeah, plenty for them to dissect, and I'm sure Carla Ward will be happy just to have this break, and said just to go through a few things and see if we can just steady things up. And you know, with the goal aside, we're competing quite well, but just need to make sure that we don't concede, particularly at this stage in the game now, going into the second half of this first half. But here's the quick short corner again. Cooper just had the awareness to play it quickly to Lavelle, and she hit a cross in really unopposed, and you just can't do that against the number one team in the world. Patterson with a great finish nonetheless.
Lucia Littlejohn, the only one who was alive to that from an Irish point of view, but out there on her own, outnumbered 2-1. And Lavelle provided the cross. Lavelle, one of the undoubted stars of that 2019 World Cup win. Patterson with the header. Good to see Lavelle back. She's only recently returned to action the last 3 games or so. She's only played about less than an hour and a half of club football since ankle surgery back in December.
Yeah, she is definitely one of the top players in the world. She kind of has a individual, unique kind of style, the way she glides around the pitch, and yeah, she's nice. Joy to watch when she's not playing against Ireland, obviously, but definitely one that's kind of shown leadership as well, growing into that role. She spoke during the week about remembering being one of these young players, and now she's taken on that leadership role along with obviously the likes of Sonnet and Gurma as well tonight.
It's funny, I think she's one of those players you'll always consider young, despite the fact she's 30 now, Rose Lavelle. There is one of the youngsters, 20-year-old Alyssa Thompson. He's got her 19-year-old sister Giselle, both who play for Angel City, on the bench this evening. Sonnet. Patterson. Lucy Quinn in defensive mode, as is Emily Murphy, Ireland's wide attacker on the far side. Carusa dropping in, trying to prevent anything going through midfield, and Ireland shut it off that time. Here's Connolly. Pass looking to release Barrett, didn't make it. Sonnet intervenes, now Coffey. Foul by Littlejohn, bundling over her opposite number, Avery Patterson.
Maybe just a little too hard there from Rusha, but letting her presence be felt.
From an Irish point of view, you want to break up this rhythm. Conceding free kicks in areas like this. You've seen the power the US have in the air already with the Patterson goal. Lavelle there with Sentnor this time. I think it shows the trust they have in 21-year-old Ali Sentnor as well, that she's on the set-piece deliveries for the most part so far. So it's her right footer, Lavelle's left here. Testing that Ireland defensive line, Lavelle curls it in. Came off Lucy Quinn, but no harm in the end. Arrived straight into the gloves of Brosnan. Beyond these two games, Carla Ward will have a very close eye on Belgium at the European Championships. Two-legged playoff coming up in October. It's very calmly done by Caitlin Hayes under pressure.
It'll be interesting to see how Belgium get on in the Euros in a group with Spain in particular, and Italy and Portugal as well. But definitely, I think all eyes will be on them in the coming weeks.
That final performance done in Parky Cueve against Slovenia offered a lot of heart, particularly after what had happened in the away game in Koper. 4-0 defeat. Plenty of attacking that night down in Cork from Ireland, but having to show a different side of them here. It's these type of fixtures where the staff can learn a lot. You think back to that experience in the Nations League, League A, with England, France and Sweden, who were at the time world ranked 2nd, 3rd and 6th. Looking for an option. Stapleton immediately under pressure from Thompson. She's kept her head and kept the ball well. Jessie Stapleton forward to Murphy. Real right at her back and out for an Ireland throw-in. Big off-season coming up for Jessie Stapleton as well at West Ham after pressing out on loan at Sunderland last season. Coffey. He's looked good in that midfield. Ireland aggressive again, this time through Anna Patton.
Yeah, probably no need to give away a free in that situation, but easy to say. She's probably, again, just wants to show that aggression too, and at least in that area of the pitch, it's not too dangerous.
Sam Coffey just had a word with the referee after that one to say there's been a few now. Real forward. Here is Coffey. Moves it inside towards Hutton. Thompson darting in off that left-hand side. Cooper, space at a premium. And that will run for another corner. The movement of Thompson so quick. There she is, top of the picture. And in she goes. Stapleton looking to track her.
It's so hard to defend against. I mean, at that point, the two wingers had come central, and even Patterson was overlapping on the right side too. So just so dynamic in their attacking play, the US.
Another opportunity for Sentnor from that far side. Something different this time as she goes short. Combining with Thompson. Here's the cross headed away by Emily Murphy. This is picked up again by Coffey. Looks for the more progressive ball to Patterson. Going back, doubling up with Patton. Michelle Cooper. Left-footed cross. Skims off the head of Megan Connolly. Murphy launches it towards halfway. Lavelle in the way. Hutton. Maybe another opportunity here. Thompson cutting inside on that right foot, and a vital block on that one. Looked to have struck it really well, Alyssa Thompson. And Caitlin Hayes, body on the line time there. Might need some treatment.
Yeah, we just see it again here. Sentnor just laying it inside, and Son just plays it out to Thompson. Just so dangerous, but yeah, Caitlin Hayes took one for the team there. Just in the right place. You could say right place at the right time, but she's definitely feeling that one.
And just in that part of the head, the side, the temple, the back of the head. Medical staff on. Courtney Brosnan wearing that captain's armband tonight, looking to impart some instructions to those in front of her.
I think all these breaks will help Ireland just take that sting out of the momentum of the US attack in play, and if they can get in, regroup at half-time at 1-0, they might be able to forge some kind of action plan just to even possibly get something out of the game in terms of the result.
It's like the last 10 minutes now, still Avery Patterson's goal, 18 minutes in, separating the sides. Ireland, who have had to show their defensive mettle here. Wave after wave of US attack coming at them in Denver. Conditions weather-wise, altitude-wise, will be a little bit more hospitable on Sunday evening. Tonight might well be a night where the bench will have to be astutely used by Emma Hayes and Carla Ward.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, will we see a debut for Erin Healy? I think Carla Ward said that 100% she'll play at some stage during the two games, so it'd be interesting. She, like I said, she's impressed her. She's looked impressive, at least from her highlights reels and that, and I think Ward has talked about how she's kind of impressed more this camp as well, growing into it, so we might see her later.
And worth mentioning, Hayley Nolan of Kildare is in the squad as well, the Crystal Palace defender. Just as we see Caitlin Hayes help back to her feet. Nolan won the last of her 3 caps 2 years ago in Missouri off the bench. There's the Lavelle corner. Good early shot from Brosnan, who had it, then lost it. But managed to grasp it again. Sees the funny side of it.
I don't think she was seen.
Only for a moment.
I was just going to say, 10 seconds prior to that, I don't think she was seeing the funny side, but yeah, she probably can count herself slightly lucky on that one, because there was a couple of US players ready to pounce. She gladly has the ball in her arms now, ready to go again.
And maybe in the circumstances, the wise move here, not to put her defenders under any more pressure with a short restart. Gets the ball on the deck and sends it towards halfway. A flick on from Murphy. And no one there on the end of it. A rare touch in her debut for Claudia Dickey. Season with Seattle was back up to Thomas Joyce, who moved on then to Manchester United. She's been #1 since. Claudia Dickey. Oh, as there's studs showing there from Avery Patterson and Mustaki. Play goes on. Cooper 10-1 goalwards, but Hayes just back on the pitch, makes another block.
Patterson, it was a very strong tackle from her that time.
Throw infield to Hutton. Here's Lavelle. Lay off by Sentnor. It's a different type of striker as well, Ellie Sentnor, to remember the burly figure of Abby Wambach and the constant movements of Alex Morgan. Lavelle, Carusa slides in. Connolly steadies things down from a Republic of Ireland point of view. She had a very good college career. Florida State, Megan Connolly. Mustaki. Early ball inside, on first time by Littlejohn, looking for Quinn, but not quite finding her.
Always an animated figure on the sideline, Emma Hayes. You can just see her passion shining through.
Seems to have settled it really well into this job, the most high-profile job, arguably in the women's game. And as we said, success is expected and demanded. Patterson keeping the width on the right-hand side. Target might have been Sentnor. In the end, it landed with Lavelle, who gets on it once more. Sonnet showing wide of her. Side bypass to find Cooper. Lavelle on the move again, and a little gap has opened up here. Sentnor at the near post. Around the back was Thompson. And Stapleton has somehow produced a wonderful piece of back post defending there. Well, this was slick.
Yeah, it really was. Just Lavelle, like you said, found that gap and probed through it, and it's great defending from Jessie Stapleton at the back post. She was so aware, just got that vital block in. Really, really great play from Jessie Stapleton, because she's up against it tonight, but that was fantastic. Not sure if it was going to be on target from Thompson, but still really, really good defensive play. And then Ireland just win the free kick just to relieve the pressure.
It has been a first half of pressure. Into the final few minutes now, maybe a little bit to be added on. A few stoppages in the water break. Sonnet forward towards Cooper, who's been very much in the thick of it. Linking with Lavelle. And now looking for Sentnor, who might be onside. Thompson far side certainly wasn't. But the flag does go up to deny Ali Sentnor.
See it again, like I said, Cooper just causing havoc, but very much offside there, but it's a good line from the Irish defence.
Lavelle's positioning again right up there, alongside, even further forward than Sentnor. So at least 5 to be added on. Commerce City in Denver. Avery Patterson's goal. The US with the lead, and here they come again. The fleet of foot Thompson slips it inside. Lavelle. Ireland backing off. Cooper on the right-hand side. Cooper rolls it in low. And Sentnor might have seen that one late as it came through legs. In the end, no real problem for Courtney Brosnan. The speed they can get from one end to the other, the US, is impressive.
Yeah, almost every one of their attacks is nearly ending with some form of a chance. Even if it's not a full chance, it's a half chance, and just so dangerous.
Incredible home record as well, just 4 defeats in their last 67 games played on US soil. There are 2 of them under the guidance of Emma Hayes. Japan beating them in February back in the She Believes Cup in San Diego, and an April friendly loss to Brazil in San Jose. That was with Emma Hayes looking to youth and inexperience. Nathan Hayes overcooks that one towards Mustaki.
Definitely an area I'm sure Carla Ward will be addressing at half-time. Will just be that when we do have the ball and we're in possession, not to give it away easily like we've just done there, because obviously give the ball back, then you're left defending for the next few minutes.
Gurma. Sonnet. See Patterson's position, it's almost a back three, allowing her to get forward. Real tucking in from left back. It's Real's throw in to the skipper Gurma. Remarkable record, Naomi Gurma. She's played the full 90 minutes in 38 of her 46 previous caps, and in those 38 they've kept 27 clean sheets. Real manages to work it forward to Thompson. Hutton. Cooper takes it out to Sonnet. Patterson. Heavy touch gave Quinn her opportunity. The challenges, as we mentioned, are there on the European front from the likes of England and Spain, but the US, such a dominant force. 1 point, almost 7 years uninterrupted as the world number one. Back in that position now. Thompson, lovely set up here for Coffey, driving beyond Stapleton, and Sam Coffey, impressive from that midfield role in the first half. Picked her moment to stride forward, fed in beautifully by Thompson, and found an unerring finish on the balance of play. They feel that's the second goal they've deserved. Coming right at the death of this first half, Sam Coffey with a third goal for the senior international team.
Yeah, they just probed through, right through the heart of our midfield, unfortunately, and it was a great goal from the US perspective and from Sam Coffey. She just drove right at us, right at the heart of the defence, and finished it low into the bottom corner there, left-footed, but I don't think Courtney could, or she got a fingertip to it there actually, and she probably might almost be slightly disappointed, but it was hit with pace, and yeah, just a disappointing time to concede with almost on the stroke of half-time.
Ireland couldn't quite get there at 1-0. Sam Coffey, captain of the Portland Thorns, has played like a captain tonight for Emma Hayes and gets her goal. Showed that power, that running power to drive on the outside, and then left-footed to finish beyond Brosnan. There's a flick on that finds Barrett offside. It's a position we've seen Barrett finish from before in Greece in the Nations League most recently. It just looked a fraction off there. Well, that's going to take us to half-time at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, and the US in control here. The breakthrough goal, a first at senior international level for Avery Patterson of the Houston Dash, set up by Lavelle, and then the second right on the call of half-time from Sam Coffey of the Portland Thorns. Emma Hayes looking to some youth and inexperience to step up and deliver here, and they have done for Ireland. A welcome half-time break and plenty of work ahead in the second half. We'll take a break, back with that second half when we return at half-time. We leave you on a scoreline of the US 2, the Republic of Ireland 0. Welcome back. We'll try and keep up to date with all the changes that are about to happen now in the second half. You can see Tyler Toland is coming into that Ireland midfield. There she is, right, a picture wearing number 7. Looks like there will be some changes on the US side as well. But 2-0 to the home side at half-time. Goals from Avery Patterson and Sam Coffey, as Ireland were very much on the defensive in that first half. Tyler Toland into the action now. Let's see what kind of impact she can make. The second half off and running in Denver. And an early touch here for Anna Patton. Across to Caitlin Hayes. Having been a regular starter in the Euro qualifiers, had to work her way into the side again under Carla Ward as the Nations League went on.
I think Abby Larkin in as well on the left side for Lucy Quinn. Seems to be a second change. But Rusha Littlejohn gone off as well. Maybe that's a case of managing her minutes as well. I know she hasn't played 92 regularly for Ireland in recent times.
Chance here for Carusa. Barrett makes the angled run. Carusa holds on. Clipped in by Larkin and Reel. And needed that shout there. Ireland with an early attacking moment in the second half. And that has got Emma Hayes off her seat. Carusa using her strength. Just too much on that cross as Larkin was coming in off that left-hand side.
First real bit of call it a chance from Ireland, really. First cross into the box. Came to nothing.
Played back to Coffey. Here's Gurma. And Sonnet happy to go back to her goalkeeper. So Abby Larkin over on that left-hand side, as you mentioned, Maeve, and she and Emily Murphy, two of the leading impressive performers against Slovenia down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Showed plenty in an attacking sense, and let's hope Ireland can get some control of this second half now, and they'll have that ability to do likewise. Lovely take and turn from Sentnor. Claire Hutton, the 19-year-old, out to that far side. Patterson through the challenge of Larkin, who's trying to get back and pressurise again. Still with Patterson, gets her cross in. Another defensive header from Caitlin Hayes. Sonnet on early by Patterson. Here is Cooper, held up by Megan Connolly. Sonnet and Gurma. Sonnet again, no pressure, can pick her pass. Patterson kept herself on side, squared across. The little touch from Lavelle was almost brilliant. Just didn't quite get the angle right. And Patterson having a big game down that right-hand side. Lavelle almost with an extravagant finish. Patterson again combining with Cooper.
Yeah, she's popping up in all areas, really, Patterson. She's overlapping at times, underlapping, cutting inside at other times, and yeah, it's just, she's really looked solid there, and on only her 5th cap she really looks really assured.
Emily Fox, the Champions League winner with Arsenal, will be back in the squad soon enough. Thompson driving in off that left-hand side. Oh, and a collision between Stapleton and Brosnan. Lack of communication there as Thompson leads that US threat again. Here's Reel. Has the strength to hold off Carusa. Works the 1-2 at Lavelle. Setting her on the penalty spot, goes beyond her and beyond Cooper. Abby Larkin can pick it up for the Republic of Ireland. Mustaki, not much to hit up front. Unfortunate not to ship a third there. Patterson inside to Coffey, the 2 goal scorers in the first half. Cooper unable to keep it with her. Here's Carusa. Holds it up well. Conley and Toland's giving it away to Sentnor. US shirts flooding forward again. Cooper. Coffey controlling that midfield area. Sonnet and Gurma. And now Rhea. Thompson. Sonnet. Chance to step in there. Patchy wanted blocked off. Looks for Patterson. He's quick, but won't get to that one.
Said, I think Coffey is really dominating in that midfield area. We're just struggling to get to grips with it. I think Denise O'Sullivan's absence has really been felt. You know, we don't really have that type of player just to get on the ball and keep possession. You know, the loose pass there from Toland, and just really missing, I think, Denise in there. But hopefully it's an area we can improve on and just tighten up and at least keep the US as quiet as we can.
No official word yet as to whether Denise O'Sullivan and Megan Campbell will be fit for Sunday's game in Ohio. And Denise O'Sullivan, she'll be 10 years in the US next year, having initially arrived with the Houston Dash, but made her home with the North Carolina Courage. Not just her abilities, but her knowledge of these US players, how they play, their traits and little habits. It would have been a big plus.
Yeah, it was something I think Denise always wanted to do, was to play in America. Even I had played there previously, and she was always asking questions, and it was really definitely one of her ambitions. And I know just before she moved to the US, her father passed away, and it was one of his wishes that she would go and play, and what a career she's had, and she's really made a name for herself over in the States.
I'm telling to hear Carla Ward again this week saying, back to that in a moment. Here's Sentnor fed in by Cooper and Lavelle, and there's number 3. Well, she'd been popping up in those positions, Rose Lavelle, but how neatly they worked it. One little incisive pass down the channel. Lovely ball squared across, and Lavelle swept it home for international goal number 25.
We see it again, just Cooper involved, Sentnor as well, just slipping it across, really made it look easy. America just played it through us, really. Cooper cut inside, Hayes went to try press it, and then Patton got pulled out to press the second ball, and unfortunately Lavelle, she was never going to miss from there, free in the 6-yard box.
Look at that little look from Sentnor before she even got to the ball to see where she was going to play it. Put it on a plate for Rose Lavelle. He was never going to miss from there, and her return from that injury continues apace, Rose Lavelle. Just quicker in thought indeed, the US. And that is a very popular goal scorer, Lavelle, who'll be hoping to be involved again on Sunday when the second game takes place in her home city, Cincinnati. Sentner for 21 leading that line, so busy, very clever, seems to spot those gaps and unselfish as well. Gurma. Lily Reel doesn't quite link up with Lavelle that time. Superstar, cap number 111. I wonder if things might have been different back at the last World Cup. She was suspended for the round of 16 shootout loss to Sweden. Here goes Carusa. Gurma, and that unfussy style of hers, just steps across, diffuses the potential danger, and picks it up again from her goalkeeper. Coffey. Forward at pace to the feet of Lavelle. Patterson, and there is Sentnor linking everything up again. And Patterson has that pace to get to the end line. Headed away by Stapleton. Hutton, Coffey, Thompson, Reel and Thompson again. Alyssa Thompson, no pressure. Decision time here, cuts back inside onto that right foot. Looked to be destined for the bottom corner before it came off Anna Patton and took the sting out of it.
Yeah, no pressure, like you said, on the ball that time. Thought maybe Stapleton just stayed off a little bit. I know she probably didn't want to get too close in case she got done, but just when she comes into that area, Thompson really needs to put pressure on the ball, and luckily for us it fell to Courtney Brosnan.
Left appealing for a penalty in the end, Alyssa Thompson. Referee not concurring. And Carusa earns the free kick here. She goes right there in the list of legends. Lavelle alongside Mia Hamm and Brandy Chastain, Carly Lloyd, Wambach we've mentioned, Rapinoe. Chasing down Patton here as well. Brosnan, Toland has to be secure. And under pressure, overcooks it towards Hayes. Just looking to get to the pace of the game here, Tyler Toland. Sentnor, another lovely touch. Coffey, Thompson sets it up. Lavelle hunting a quick fire second. Just got underneath that one. It looked like a side sensing blood here at the moment, the US.
They really do. They've picked up right where they left off in the first half, and they're just bringing that energy and determination. Ireland are trying to take the sting out of it by slowing it down, the restarts, but they're really they're pressing high now and putting the pressure on the Irish back line all the time.
Lavelle again, Patterson draws in Emily Murphy, drags the ball away. Sentnor, will she have her moment? Oh, she's only inches away. Well, she's been sharp in everything she's done, Ali Sentnor.
See again, Thompson just takes on Emily Murphy and plays a nice ball into Sentnor, and she did almost everything right, just that finish, and she really has been such a bright spark tonight.
At domestic level, she's battling away at the Utah Royals, who are down the wrong end of the NWSL table. But Emma Hayes looking beyond that to a real talent up front. Foul by Sonnet that time. Now more changes afoot, and we're going to see Thompson Jr. Giselle coming on. Normally operates as a right back, right wing back, and also another 19-year-old in Olivia Moultrie. Huge ovation for Lavelle, her first US game since last December, and she's marked it with a goal and a standout performance all round. Takes the congratulations from Emma Hayes, and Patterson goes off as well after a terrific performance down that right-hand side. And two teenagers on, looking to catch the eye of the manager.
Yeah, as if there wasn't enough energy and enthusiasm on the pitch on the American side, they've just added to it.
Moultrie is a remarkable story. She'll be out there wearing 13. She was offered a college place by the North Carolina Tar Heels when she was 11. Obviously, when she came to college age, such was her talent. Of the Portland Thorns, debut as a 15-year-old. Here's Jessie Stapleton. First time we've seen her up the pitch. Wins the throw-in to keep Ireland up there.
Megan Campbell territory, this throw-in.
Patton inside to Carusa. Barrett will keep this potential attack alive, as will Larkin. Pushed back by Giselle Thompson. Larkin's turned well. We'll have a shot here, charged on by Hutton. Little flick from Carusa. Emily Murphy with Ireland's first chance, albeit from an offside position. And just for a moment, those in the stands, clad in green, thought there was a chance here, but just straight offside. And the Carusa flick, Emily Murphy.
Yeah, unfortunate. Thought she was going to be only the second Irish woman to score against America. I think Michelle O'Brien, who I would have played with years ago, I think was the only person to have scored against them, but might get another chance later.
Giselle Thompson over on that far side. I'd say right back in name only. Lovely ball in by Sonnet. Here is Moultrie, her first involvement in reverse pass. And Brosnan, he did get there. No surprise to see Courtney Brosnan slow things down a little bit. Rose Lavelle can take a well-earned breather alongside Avery Patterson. One who has been there and done it, and the other who showed up enough tonight to suggest that it won't be long till she's adding to her 5 caps. Patterson in the infancy of her international career. Moultrie just a little less on that, and Setno might have had an opportunity. Just 19 Moultrie, but big and strong. Brosnan flips it towards halfway, where the header's won by Sonnet. Coming onto it was Connolly. Carusa. Emily Murphy just caught in two minds as to whether that ball would make it to her, and off goes Alyssa Thompson. Away from Jessie Stapleton. Patton backing off. Alyssa Thompson! Oh, it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous, and it's a goal that's been coming. What a standout performance from the 20-year-old, and she's backed it all up with a fabulous individual goal.
Yeah, remarkable really. She's been the best player on the pitch for me tonight so far, and she's lit up the game from the first minute, and we just see it even where she picks the ball up right on the halfway line here, and just a deft flick past Stapleton and just drives at Anna Patton, and you just know what she's going to do, but you still can't stop her. She cuts inside, curls a lovely ball, just sweeps it past Courtney Brosnan right into that corner of the right hand side.
That is so good from Alyssa Thompson. What a talent they have on their hands. Her 20th cap. Hard to believe it's just her second goal when you see a finish like that one. It's a talented family, isn't it?
Certainly is. Yeah, the latest sisters to play for the US, obviously the Mewis sisters as well. Christy Mewis and Sam Mewis would have played recently too, but these are definitely the new sisters on the block, and they're really impressive to watch.
You'd imagine US training will be interesting for the next few years, given one's a left winger and one's a right back.
True. I'm sure they faced off each other in the back garden many times.
Burma getting physical with the recently arrived Saoirse Noonan. Noonan, who hasn't taken long in re-establishing herself back in the Ireland fold after some years away. Winning goal against Slovenia. And Páirc Uí Chaoimh of all places for her. Marissa Shiva, as you can see on as well. Changes made just after that goal from Alyssa Thompson. Emily Murphy and Ciara Carusa, the two who've departed. Connolly standing over this free kick. Slips it for Shiva. He's given her a bit of work to do though. Just too weighty, that ball from Connolly. So 2 goals in each half for the US, a 4-goal lead. Patterson and Coffey in the first half, Lavelle and Alyssa Thompson in the second. Team selections come Sunday evening will be interesting from both managers. Just to see how much they mix things up. Coffey dropping in here. Giselle Thompson on that far side already well advanced as Sonnet comes forward here. Angel City have the Australian Alana Kennedy playing with them these days, and just watching how they play, often just drops in from defensive midfield between the 2 centre halves, and Giselle Thompson essentially plays as a right winger. Down the left here is her sister, already with one fantastic goal, looking to turn provider this time for Moultrie. Ireland with enough bodies back. And Thompson feeling a little hard done by here after a collision with Barrett.
There's the delayed whistle from the ref. I don't know if she got word in her ear or not, but you see the replay again. Just Thompson using her strength there. She doesn't agree with the ref's decision.
She has lit it up tonight. Alyssa Thompson made her debut October of 2022 at Wembley. Pushing on 3 years ago now. Made the 2023 World Cup squad when Mallory Swanson picked up an injury. And for years you looked at the attack that the US had down the flanks in particular, always the pace that they had. Supporting a centre forward. Alyssa Thompson very much looks to the manor born. Patton picked up by Gurma, who steps out in front of Noonan. Up and dealt with by Toland. Mustaki to the far side. Little touch from Larkin is a good one. Shiva. A chance to look forward here. Noonan through the middle. Larkin out on that left, but there's that pace of Giselle Thompson. Like her sister, #1 draft pick. Coming out of high school rather than college. First professional game just over a year ago. In towards Noonan to use her strength, and Thompson calmly picks out Cooper. Sentnor again, that first touch so good. Gurma.
You can see Amber Barrett now filling in on that right side. With Murphy gone off, it's not a position that we usually see Amber in, but a lot of attacking players actually on the pitch at the moment. Just see hopefully that we can try to use their attacking strengths.
Coffey. I'm not sure that Real was expecting that one. As Knight draws in, throw in from Stapleton. Such a privileged position to be in, boss of the US team, but you know, it's a team that is a bit of a lightning rod for often polarising opinion. The 2019 celebrations after they hammered Thailand didn't go down well, but I think this injection of youth now and the span of clubs that she's drawing from Emma Hayes, she's just got a lot of support and momentum behind this team, and of course some superstars to return to the fold as well. Thompson, crowd wanted to have another go, instead goes to Cooper. Strong work by Mustaki. When you've got the history they have, 4-time World Cup winners. The inaugural edition in 91 when there was a 19-year-old Mia Hamm included, 99, 90,000 at the Rose Bowl, and Brandy Chastain's iconic celebration to 2015. Carly Lloyd's hat-trick against Japan in Edmonton. And 2019, Megan Rapinoe and Rose Lavelle with the goals against the Netherlands. Those are the dreams these young players are chasing in the future. As for Ireland, it's all about getting to the World Cup in Brazil in 27, having missed out on these Euros with the playoff to Wales. And that took a while to get over.
Yeah, and it'll probably come flooding back somewhat next week when we're watching on of the Euros and Ireland not been involved. But like I said, it's the World Cup now is what the eyes are on.
Sentnor, small in stature, but they trust that ball into her feet, knowing how good that first touch is. Real almost had Moultrie in. An unwitting touch off Thompson. This is picked up by Sonnet. Almost playing that hybrid role, Emily Sonnet at the back, then steps into midfield. And as she does, Hutton drops in to receive from Gurma. Lots of fluidity in this side. Moultrie. Thompson stands up the cross towards the back, and Cooper couldn't quite get to it. Mustaki did all she could just to lean in and make life as difficult as she could.
See it again, how high and wide the US get. Thompson just cutting it in with her left foot that time, and Cooper driving into a central area. Thompson pushing on as a right back. It allows her to come centrally and just add another attacking force into the US's play.
We've mentioned the youth coming through, but here comes Lynn Biondolo as she is now, Lynn Williams as most people would know her, coming in for her 81st cap. Naomi Gurma is also going to make way. And coming on, 18-year-old Jordan Bug into that back line, so we might see Real just shift in one, or will Bug go in centre half? We'll wait and see. Both capable of centre back or left back, but an 18-year-old in for a senior debut. Californian born, her parents were college athletes in Eastern Kentucky. Jordan Bug. Youngest member of the squad in for her senior debut.
Yeah, probably not a bad time to have your debut as a centre-back when you're 4-0 up. I'm sure she'll be just trying to get a few early touches and get comfortable within this team.
Wouldn't be often you'd see an 18-year-old at centre-back, but there she is, Bug. Player of huge promise. Here goes Giselle Thompson. Coffee at the heart of everything. Hutton. A little touch. Didn't quite have Sentnor in, but wasn't too far away from doing so. Biondolo will chase and cause a problem here for Brosnan. There was nowhere to go, but out of play for a throw-in on the far side.
Not sure if this is just to maybe take the momentum out, but you can see Erin Healy ready to come on here.
A big moment for San Diego born Erin Healy, her grandfather from Clones in County Monaghan. Came through Gonzaga University, a little spell in Portugal before heading to the A-League, where she had an excellent debut campaign, getting all the way to the semi-finals back in April. 7 league goals, Club Player of the Year. She is coming on. Treatment first for Courtney Brosnan. So Erin Healy, who was in the last camp without making her debut, they had a chance to have a look at her in training, and as you said, she's impressed there. And on for her debut tonight in the country of her birth.
Yeah, that last game in Slovenia and Cork, I think it was her first time in Ireland, so she hadn't actually been in Ireland. Had she played in the away fixture in Turkey, she would have represented Ireland, having never been in the country. But it'd be interesting to see how she gets on now. But can't imagine there'll be a whole lot of attacking done from her. I know that's definitely where her strengths lie, is in her attacking ability, but still good to see her into the fold now. And obviously Carla Ward has seen enough.
You could just see Emily Sonnett there a moment ago in the huddle, and Carla Ward knows she doesn't have to, Emma Hayes knows she doesn't have to go in there because Emily Sonnett's running the whole thing.
Really seems like a big character. I think it reminds me somewhat of Ruesha Littlejohn, maybe from the Irish side. She really does seem she had to bide her time initially as somewhat a sub or an impact player, but she's really kind of grown into that role and is definitely a leader in that team.
You need players like that who can run things on the pitch for you. He's under pressure. Biondolo. Connolly just using her physical presence. Healy brushed off it. Here's the cross coming in from Real. 3 or 4 in the penalty area, hunting what would be a 5th goal for the US. The danger not cleared yet, particularly with the ball at the feet of Alyssa Thompson. Lily Real. Back with Thompson again. Coffee.
Sitting extremely deep now. We're not even any pressure on the US when they're at the halfway line, where you can see how deep Saoirse Noonan is, really falling further and further back as the game goes on.
It's been a difficult night. Still some time to go. Giselle Thompson. And she's managed to prevent the goal kick. It's frightening pace Thompsons have when they get going. So the US soon to make it a perfect 16 from 16 against the Republic of Ireland. And Ireland unable to find those opportunities to add to that one goal across the previous 15 games that you spoke of. Abby Larkin. And Healy looking to make her move, opens the space on the right-hand side. Shiva. Hunted down by Real. And her physical presence alone is enough. Alyssa Thompson. Olivia Moultrie to her left. Stapleton stands off. Real. Coffee. And now Jordan Bugg, who's started every game for Seattle Reign this season. Trained with Gurma and Abby Dalkemper, another one of the long-standing and veteran centre halves while she was at high school. Jordan Bugg. Talent recognised at an early age, and still just 18 now as she makes her senior debut. Claire Hutton. Have to try and tot up how many teenagers have been on the pitch for the US at any time tonight. Alyssa Thompson. Star attraction. Stapleton trying to second guess where she's going here. Still Thompson. Pulls it to the edge of the penalty area. It was a clever pass, and Sentnor, belying her years, to step away and find the space on the edge. Couldn't find the finish though.
Seems to be a really smart player just in her movements, and you can just see peeling away, like I said, to the edge of the box to find that little bit of space she needed, and probably would have been disappointed there not to get that on target.
Very different set, Nor. We've seen of her tonight. A lot of the centre forwards out there. Very interesting to see where her career takes her. Tired touch from Stapleton. Plenty to ponder now for Carla Ward over the next few days. Just a reminder, you can see Game 2 in Cincinnati, Ohio with us. An 8 o'clock kickoff Irish time on Sunday evening. The US will be heading into that one off the back of a dominant performance here. 2 goals in each half. Here's the impressive Coffey. Real dangerous low ball in that Biandolo couldn't quite get to the end of. And just offering her apologies, Lynn Biandolo.
Just mixing it up from an attacking point of view. We've seen a lot of crosses come from the end line, but Real that time just putting an early ball across, almost causing danger.
Interesting balance, Emma Hayes, with the fullbacks tonight as well. We saw Patterson in the first half and Thompson in the second, with licence on the right-hand side to get forward at every opportunity. Real just sitting in, maybe with that centre-back history of hers as well.
It does seem to be a big feature of their play, and like that with the fullback providing that width, and the right winger can cut in, which has been Cooper for the majority of the game, just been able to add nearly to almost become another centre forward as well, which is just another thing for Ireland to have to deal with defensively.
And on the other side, I think Real is just happy to give Thompson that space to work in, not to overcrowd those areas. Bug. And the serious competitive games come around, if some of these youngsters don't make it, there'll be a very strong under-20 team still available to the US.
That's for sure.
Biandolo, the all-time record goal scorer in the NWSL, hunting maybe one for her here in these closing stages. Moultrie to take. Along the end line to Thompson, improving the angle here for Moultrie to swing in a left-footed cross. It doesn't make the most of it.
Their formation and tactics seems to be quite fluid as well from Emma Hayes. I think she's probably maybe looking at the players that are on the pitch and available too, that she just kind of adapts to them.
You've mentioned the attacking three not available. Mallory Swanson is expecting at the moment, as is Sophia Smith, Sophia Wilson now. Trinity Rodman out through injury. And of course, one of the best midfielders we've seen over the last decade or so, in Lindsay Horan, or Lindsay Heaps. Of France's dominant force, Lyon. All still to come back in, along with Crystal Dunn, Pat Macario of Chelsea. Strong work there by Caitlin Hayes. And again, there's the issue that Ireland have. So much work having to be done defensively. Dropping deeper and deeper, no one there for the ball forward.
Yeah, and particularly now with Amber Barrett off, we don't have that threat of pace in behind that was there while she was on the pitch. So it's really just has to be a ball up to feet, up to Saoirse's feet to try hold it up, but it's just, game has gotten away from them at this point. It's probably damage limitation if we're honest about it, but it seems to be how they're operating, just given how low their defensive block is.
Just wonder how you judge these games if you're in Carla Ward's position, because there are levels, and you're seeing levels again tonight. Yellow card for Jessie Stapleton.
these are definitely at the top level, albeit they don't have their top players on the pitch. They're still the players that they have are performing, and they're of such a high standard that it is definitely, it's just I suppose a reminder of the threat that the League A type teams are gonna pose us. We're, I suppose, coming off the back of the League B.
And two youngsters who can be very happy with their performances tonight, making way here, Ellie Sentnor and Alyssa Thompson, to accommodate the arrival of Yasmin Ryan of Houston Dash and Emma Sears of Racing Louisville. Sears, a great story. Last year's draft went to round 2 in the final pick before she was chosen. She came in at Louisville, had a very good debut season, a handful of goals, and she surpassed that this season. 6 goals and 13 league appearances. And she is on, along with Ryan, for the closing minutes. Some changes aplenty in the second half. Ryan standing over this set-piece delivery along with Moultrie. Here's Moultrie to clip it in, a free header. What a chance that was for Sonnet. Ireland appealing in vain for an offside flag.
Let off for Ireland that Sonnet couldn't direct that ball into the net.
Ryan, first chance to shine here, being tracked back by Larkin. Soon to find out how much will be added on in Denver. Dominant US performance, pretty much start to finish. Everyone looking to impress. Ryan draws in Noonan. Available, as always, is Sonnet. Back out to that far side in Coffey. Giselle Thompson. And now Bug. We've kept on this side by Sears. Bug steps in again. Coffey. Oh, a little ball around the corner from Moultrie was almost perfect. Biandola will keep it alive, and here is Giselle Thompson. Sister already on the score sheet. Crossing dealt with by Stapleton. He's defended that back post well tonight, Jessie Stapleton.
She really has, and she's been up against it.
Biandolo. Nice turn in the tight confines of just outside the Ireland penalty area. Sonnet. Moultrie. And now Jordan Bug. Sonnet again. Lovely little ball dabbed inside. Moultrie letting fly off the crossbar. Did Brosnan get a touch? Real on the follow-up. Couldn't find a finish. A cracking effort from the 19-year-old. Already 2 goals in 7 caps coming into this. Touch shifted into space and rattled the crossbar.
Yeah, it was great play from Moultrie, but just, I think, fingertips there. If it was, then it was a great save from Courtney Brosnan. Just seemed to get a touch on that and just finding space. Even when we're sitting so deep, America or the US can just still manage to find that just couple of yards of space. That's all they need.
Izzy Atkinson on for the Dying Embers, replacing Chloe Mustaki. At number 19 for Atkinson from Rush. It's just finished up at Crystal Palace. And the referee has brought it to an end. No time to be added on at the end of this second half. And for Ireland, well, wounded here by a very, very impressive US outfit who scored twice in each half. Avery Patterson in her 5th cap with her first goal for her country 18 minutes in. Added to in the dying stages of the first half by Sam Coffey. And then in the second half, 2 brilliantly taken goals. The first from Rose Lavelle, the second from maybe the player of the match, Alyssa Thompson, who was terrorising that Irish side from start to finish down the left.
Yeah, it was a tough night at the office for the Irish. Obviously 2 on paper under-strength teams, but that US team is really forced to be reckoned with, and yeah, players really lit it up. I thought Thompson, Melissa was just really incredible on that left side, and like I said, it was a tough night, but they equipped themselves, and yeah, on to the next one.
Yeah, not much time to dwell over this one. Bags to be packed and flights to be caught across to Cincinnati in Ohio now for Sunday evening's second meeting of the sides. US continue to hold sway against the Republic of Ireland. 16 meetings, 16 wins, and a dominant one tonight, winning this by 4 goals to 0. From Maeve de Birkin, myself, Des Curran, that's where we will leave you. Do join us again on Sunday, though, for all the action from Cincinnati.